Alright, how you guys doing tonight? We're getting ready to get started. Let me jump over to where you guys can see me. How you guys liking the new music? Trying to get a little bit more festive. How you guys doing? What's going on, Ty? What's going on, Play? What's going on, Devin? And Ghost Abby. How are you doing? Making sure I got all of my stuff ready. Because tonight we will be watching Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. Recording hooligan. The music is good. Glad you like it. I'm going to try to get a couple more pieces of music done in this kind of style. Just so I can switch some things up through the month of December. But of course, we're going to give it a couple of minutes. Let everybody that's going to be joining the stream join the stream whenever they can. Hey, what's going on, Horror Boy? Glad you can make it. We haven't started yet, so you're just in time. So you're good. Just playing some Sonic CD for some nostalgia. Nice. Hey Chuck, how you doing? Everything's going here, Hardboy. Everything's going good. Get ready to watch some Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, and then after that, I'll probably end up jumping off stream and watching Watchmen. That show turned out to be a hell of a lot better than I even suspected. I knew it was going to be good, but I wasn't expecting it to be that good. You doing good, Chuck? Awesome, awesome. Hey, what's going on? Ghostface Voorhees Husky fan, welcome back. Yeah, Horrible. I haven't checked out your rant yet. Or pretty much, as you said, ripping apart Poltergeist. I need to check that out at some point. Hopefully after I get done editing tonight. Alright, looks like we're getting a nice little crowd going. Hey, Gabe, how you doing? When you get triumphed by a chainsaw. I don't have the chain. I wish I had the chainsaw to really get the gyration going. Language warning. I must put the volume on soft for my virgin little ears. Ah, fuck that. I've gone through a couple of Rob Zombie movies. There's nothing these things haven't heard. Yeah, I remember you saying that last time, Play. Again, my condolences, my friend. Just a heads up for everybody. I will not be streaming Tuesday. I may stream Wednesday if I can, but I will not be streaming Tuesday. I will be on tomorrow, though. Which, again, I'll put up a poll if you guys want me to do Texas Chainsaw 3 or a gameplay stream. Like, one or the other. All right. Hey, Paris, how you doing? Speaking of virgin ears, penis. He just dropped $1,400. I'm broke again, but it was worth it. What'd you get? If you don't mind me asking. Said, why not Tuesday? Abby, you should know why Tuesday. Because you will be on stage playing your instrument with the rest of your, is it like your class? Is it your class? I think it is. Performing your little musical pieces. All right, before I get too deep into it, let me jump over to my commentary track. There we go. So you made some pretty groovy plans to update your glove pairs, really? Okay. You know me, like fucking keep sending all those pictures. I definitely enjoy like seeing the process. Did I ever hook up the Bluetooth for Chucky? Not yet. This is the first time I've been back in the streaming room since last time I streamed. And behind the green screen, that's where Chucky sits in his box. So I have not put him in. I have not put the Bluetooth speaker in there yet. But it'll come. It'll definitely come. Especially when Abby's around. It is your concert friends? Okay. I thought it was like your class or something. Okay. All right, Gabe. I see what you're doing. It's not a bad pickup, though. Especially to see some more of the artwork that you can do. Like, I'm all for it. Like, seeing whatever you got to share, like, once you actually do some creating. Hey, what's going on, Gaming Pigeon? How you doing tonight? Bring earmuffs just in case. No, this is my second attendance, Devin. I know very much what to expect. Especially from Abby's group. Better film some reactions for if I can. Oh, you doing good? That's awesome, Gaming Pigeon. You here tonight to watch Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 with us? So I'll give it another minute and a half, and then we will begin. And thank you for the follow, Gaming Pigeon. Greatly appreciated. Do Sleepaway Camp? Will be coming eventually. Trust me, there's an endless library of horror movies that I own. And I will be going through all of them. Yeah, you know me, Gabe. Like, whatever you got, I'll share. As long as you're proud of what you're sending, I'll be more than happy to share it. Hey, what does that mean? You know what it means, Abby. Oh, I've been there, Play. I've been there with video games. all day on the same fucking level. I've been there. You have a question for me, Gaming Pigeon? What is it? What you got? What you need to know? Let me answer you to the best of my ability. Am I sad that Juice WRLD died? I honestly didn't even know who that was until today. To be completely honest, I don't know if I'm just out of the loop on like celebrities in the modern year, but I had no idea who that was until today. To be completely and utterly honest. I mean, sad, yeah. I mean, it's a sad day when anybody dies, whether they're a celebrity or not. Even though I didn't know who the dude or whoever it is was. But yeah, as far as celebrity status goes, I didn't even know who that was till today. Matter of fact, just because I've been hearing everyone talk about it, let me. Just so at least I could put a face to the name. Okay. Alright, I see what he looks like now. So at least now I can put a face to it, like when I actually check out some of his stuff. Because I had a couple people at my job talking about Juice WRLD. Hey, what's going on, Road Killer? How you doing? Is that Juicy Chick Sally in this movie? I don't think so. I mean, I think the only cameos that she makes is like in later sequels. But all right, looks like we're doing pretty good with people in the chat so far. Check to see where everyone is at. All right. All right, we're going to get started here shortly. Well, not shortly. We're going to get started sooner rather than later. For those just joining, the way this works is you are to have a copy of your movie at the ready. I'm going to give a countdown. When I say play, you hit play, I'll hit play. We'll hit play together, and we'll watch the movie together. Hopefully, we should be in sync enough to the point that if I make mention of something happening on my copy of the movie, then it should be happening at least maybe at the best, maybe a couple seconds off. Or not the best, at the worst. It should be a couple seconds off. Well, you have a good night, Gaming Pigeon. So, like, pretty much once we get started, then, like I said, you hit play, I'll hit play. Lost track of mine there for a second. Just sent 2 pics to me, Gabe, via Messenger. Okay. I'll check them out. I'll check them out, and then I will share them in tomorrow's stream. So that way I can gather a couple of things. Like I did with Paris, and I think Paris was the only one that shared. So, Paris, if you got anything else to share, feel free to send it too, so that way I can get it with Gabe's. Trying to get these share nights back up. Wish I could do the fan film night again. That thing was fun. Just don't want to get hit with the copyright. Yeah, and Nicholas. Welcome, Nicholas. Shit, I didn't even see you come in. Yeah, I do know about that. They are retconning all the Texas Chainsaw movies except 1974. Trolling peas, chilling. All right. So, let's begin. Let me pull up my player. Get that where it needs to be. All right. And we will begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. Oh, I didn't realize I had it so loud. Like shit. The MGM line fucking almost made me shit myself. Oh, I might need to see it, Paris. I might need to see it. So how the fuck did they clean up that entire house? Like, if that's the case, then fucking how? Like, what? Why can't I show the movie? That would be a big copyright no-no there, Ghostface Voorhees. But Abby, Chucky might already be down there with you. Did you check the closet? Did you check the back room down there? Oh, nice. Nice, Paris. Build the collection. Hey, what's going on, Noah? How you doing? Fucking mint! You can just tell by the intro of the movie that it's already a completely different tone than what the first one was. Thing is, I always looked at Chop Top as a precursor to Otis, because I feel like there's a lot of similarities between the characters, especially mostly in House of a Thousand Corpses.
You made me terrified now.
Why?
You said that Chucky might be down there.
You gotta check the back room.
I'm not checking there. I already think there's a ghost back there, so shut up.
Well, there's definitely a Chucky up here.
No! Oh. Well, make sure his babies don't freaking invade my space. I don't want his babies freaking everywhere.
Hubba hubba. Oh no, that chainsaw gyration is like that always is burned in my brain. Oh my gosh. That is correct, Nicholas. That's because I wanted a good round number for the Evil Dead story to take place. Ah, nice, Paris. Very nice. Oh, thank you, Chuck. I like the simplicity of it. Like, why didn't she hang up? Like, hanging up a phone is like the most difficult thing. You have 3 copies of this movie play? I mean, are they all like different covers or just different formats? Or are they all the same format? Are they all the same period? That song very much reminds me of Return of the Living Dead. I don't know. Like, for the one guy with the glasses to be as annoying as he is, he's like on level 10 fucking for hours. Like, I'm surprised he didn't have excitement overload and give himself a fucking heart attack. Plus, for as long as they've been driving, where the fuck are they driving to? They're driving to Neverland. It's funny because I never put it together that that was supposed to be the hitchhiker. Like, that was supposed to be his body. But then again, when I was younger, I only watched this movie once, and I never put things like continuity together with it. Like, I always assumed it was like one of their other victims. How fucking long is that bridge? Oh, that looks like that would have hit his stomach. So you have, what's that, 1,000 stuff on this blue. That's a lot of Sonic shit. That's a strong ass fucking chainsaw, like cutting through the fucking car door. Hey, Buzz, we are currently about 10 minutes and 30 seconds into the movie. Pretty much, they've been driving on this bridge. Like, if you're looking realistically, how long they've been driving for to still be on the fucking bridge. Super Saul was born on the planet Krypton. I mean, I have no doubt that there's like chainsaws powerful enough to like cut the kind of metal that makes up a car door. But that thing was like slicing through it no problem. Yeah, that's a lot of stuff for basically anything. I mean, not that it's like bad or anything, because I mean, if I could get that number of amount, if I had room for all of that, I could definitely go for it as far as a collection. Over 1,000 things. That's insane. I can only imagine what my room would look like with that. Because it's like, what exactly was the point of Leatherface attacking those two? Because I get why they were doing what they were doing in the first one. It makes sense. I mean, maybe Buzz. Maybe it was they were meant to play something different, and then I guess someone imposed, probably Toby Hooper, probably implanted that music in there. Probably because he thought it was funny. Have you heard about the Texas Chainsaw Manicure? I remember, right? Isn't that Toby Hooper there? I think so, Buzz. I think I remember because in that wasn't that the tape he did where he played the hitchhiker? Excuse me. No, I remember when he did that, Robert. And I have yet to actually watch that. I forgot all about that fan made trailer. I mean, technically, play Chop Top could return. That was me hitting the microphone, Buzz. Yeah, Chop Top could come back because I mean now with the new movie, it's pretty much everything except part one is no longer canon. So technically, they could still import Chop Top to the next sequel. And you know Bill Moseley would do it. Except I don't see I see Chop Top being, if he was brought back, I could see him being played a bit more seriously. I mean, obviously he'd still be a talker, but I don't think he'd be as campy as he kind of is on here. That's unlikely, Ty. Chances are they're going to get someone a bit more burly that fits the body kind of look and appearance of Gunnar Hansen. especially if it's going to be a direct sequel to the 1974 film. That's what makes me think that the Texas Chainsaw Massacre sequel will not be set in the present day. I'm thinking it's going to likely take place a day or two after the 1974 film. It's like her radio show is like all over the place. They have like no one theme. Really? I had no idea about that buzz. I mean, technically, we already got one that was Old Man Leatherface Ty. But then again, just because they did that, it makes me think that their new sequel isn't going to do the same thing. That's even more so evidence for me to believe that they're going to do it as a direct sequel a day or two at most after the first film. Which I believe they said Sally died in this one. Well, she didn't die in this one, but she died prior to the events of this one. Although I thought it said at the beginning she just slipped into catatonia. What introduced me to horror? My sister, when I was a kid. She was into horror much like I am. What got her very much into it was Return of the Living Dead and the fact that her and the character Tina shared essentially the same name. Like, not just Tina, but Tina Gray. Like, they shared the same name together. So that got her into it. Got me into it a little bit. And then I discovered Jason, and it was from there. Oh, there's no way you're getting Idris Elba in one of these movies. I think with that, you're probably paying more than you're likely going to make in profit. Just on him alone. It's like, why are you like packing chainsaws? Like, that seems a bit weird. Like, I get he's obsessed with chainsaws because of what happened to his brother's kids, but when you have access to guns, it doesn't necessarily seem like the best option. Although, wouldn't that necessarily, like, wouldn't it make the shop owner think that he was the one responsible for the chainsaw murders? He seems way too happy about all that, which kind of makes me think he may be a member of the Sawyer family too, or at least know of them, possibly friends. Holy shit. That's a good way to get into it, Chet. I mean, they could continue that narrative tie, but the thing is after this and then going into part three, the narrative makes no sense. The Sawyers that pop up make no sense. And it's like the continuity is so all over the place that it turned the entire series into a giant mess. Like, that's why if there was any series that needed that kind of reboot, it was definitely this one. To bring the narrative back to where it should be, create a new starting point, and go from there. With a much tighter continuity and hopefully someone to oversee it. Because, I mean, most of the Texas Chainsaw, aside from that, this is about the closest to the original canon that I can remember that any of the other sequels get. You can probably say that part 3, 4, all that may have just as much of a close connection to the original movie as the remakes do. The slaughters in part 4. Yeah, definitely. Hope they bring back the chainsaw from part 3, the Saw's family. I mean, they might. They might because it is referenced in here by Drayton, that phrase. So you might be put in there as an Easter egg. Maybe not on the chainsaw, but I'm fairly certain you'll likely see something somewhere that has that. Well, I mean, technically, they didn't have to do anything. They didn't have to attack her or anything like that, or even call Drayton like they're doing. Because all they got is a chainsaw sound. Oh yeah, I mean they're all fun movies, except the next generation. I mean, the next generation is fun in its own way, but it was like such a parody of how they treated Leatherface on there. Yeah, exactly, Ty. That's why, like, with this, I definitely don't mind it. I mean, like I said though, like with ignoring the sequels and everything, to me that kind of look at it the ignoring the sequels aspect of movies as how they used to say if you reboot something or remake something, you can't go back to the original. Take Halloween, for example. Halloween not only rebooted its timeline with the H2O timeline, but then they got remade. And then after the remakes, they went back to the original film. So now we have a multiverse of Halloween, and a sequel can be made for any movie at any time. To me, that means like there's so many possibilities with movies. There's possibilities for one shots, like recreations of popular movies. Like you look at something like Joker. Joker has no relation to any other Batman movie before or likely after it. But we could be getting multiple Joker movies detailing different versions of the character in different continuities, which is pretty much the same deal. The only reason they're not going to do that yet with Halloween is because Halloween 2018 was massively successful. So they're going to ride that wave and continue out that series. Now, I guarantee if they kill Michael Myers, they may go back and reboot another part of the timeline and go from there. They may reboot the Thorn timeline. They may reboot the H2O timeline. Or they may make a movie that pretty much carries on after Resurrection but treats all the movies as canon. Like the possibilities are endless. The way you got introduced to horror was when I was back home from school and saw that my brother was watching Frankenstein meets the Wolfman. That's a good way to start into it. Like we don't speak of Next Generation, just like we don't speak of Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Although honestly, if I was to pick and choose which one I would rather watch, I would probably watch Halloween 2 before the Next Generation. Oh man, I love Chop Top. Yeah, Matthew was the best part of that Chainsaw movie. Like I love Matthew McConaughey on there. I mean, I think anything's possible, Ty. Anything with anybody is possible to get into a movie, especially a high profile slasher movie. All it takes is for them to be trending the way they are right now, and the actor to either want to do it because they love the series or that they may have fallen on harder times to where they may need the money. So I swear, like I hear like hearing Chop Top talk, and because I know it's Bill mostly playing him, but I hear like a much more hyperactive version of Otis from House of a Thousand Corpses. Not the Otis from Devil's Rejects or even Three from Hell, where he was like kind of more mellowed out, but the Devil's Rejects, where he was like a bit more aggressive. Like, I'm getting that same sense. Get that bitch, go! I mean, that's true, Ty. That's true. But you also have to think of how he views slasher movies too. Because if you get him in the movie just because it's a trend and it's something he can try to build his career off of, and he's not a fan of them, you run the risk of another Rooney Mara happening. Will we ever get a dark universe like we are getting a MonsterVerse with Godzilla? They attempted it, but I think their main problem at Universal was they wanted to turn the series into action and not horror. Like that Mummy movie they released, the trailers, the first couple of trailers they showed looked really much like it was delving into horror, and I loved it. Then I watched the movie and I was like, this isn't meant to be a scary movie. This is a darker version of the Brendan Fraser series, which even then, I think Brendan Fraser's movie was a little bit darker at times. Like what they need to do for the Universal Dark Universe is lean more into horror. The characters need to be scary. They don't need to be on screen for 90% of the film. They don't even need to be on screen for 30% of the film. They just need to be on there enough to get the point across that they are meant to be scary and not to be fucked with. Yeah, I remember hearing that too, Horror Boy. Because I think at that point, both of their careers started taking off a bit, and they didn't want the movie out to damage their career. Okay, now considering Leatherface's chainsaw was able to cut through a car door, you mean to tell me it couldn't cut through Chop Top's steel plate? Now flashback. Exactly, Buzz. Like, and that was the point of even the last Mummy movie. They presented it in the trailers like it was going to be horror, and when you actually watch the movie, it's action adventure. It's not horror at all. It just has some horror elements and not even horror elements, some horror imagery. Lick my plate, you dog dick. Which I wonder why they didn't use the original Leatherface mask. Or did they not have access to it? Considering Toby Hooper did this movie too. Or did they figure the mask would further decay whenever this movie takes place? Like, however long it did. You know me, Devin. If I start seeing things that I start connecting dots to, I'm not going to be able to help it. Chop Top's plate is made of adamantium. I mean, that could be a possibility too. Buzz. Because you'd have figured he possibly was about as normal as Drayton, I guess you could say, like as normal as him. But it seems like he's a little bit more volatile and a bit more dangerous than Nubbins was. Which is probably why he was the one to fight in Vietnam. It's a cult hit. How you doing, Puddin'? That always looks funny as shit. Because telling the psycho killer with a chainsaw to go away and leave you alone is obviously going to happen. Realize how long that chainsaw actually is. Like, are you mad at me? What? It's like, what? Like, oh, really? You're that good. Now, what if he actually tried fucking her with the chainsaw? Like, like he got it there and he just started revving that shit there and sliced her in half. Looks like he's about to start fucking humping the chainsaw. It's like he's not even by you now. What the fuck are you screaming for? Clearly, nobody's gonna know. I love Bill Moseley. I really do. Although I would have definitely, I'd love to see Nubbins and Chop Top interact with each other too. Yeah, he was in Vietnam, Devin. That's why Chop Top wasn't in the first movie. Yeah, Ty. I mean, if we could have ever gotten Gunnar Hansen back, that would have, I think, been a plus for the movies. Sadly, now that will never happen. Oh, but it would be a beautiful forest fire, though, Buzz. Especially both of them together torturing fucking Drayton. I mean, that could happen. That could be a bit difficult, Horror Boy. Not unless they're selling it for an amount of money that the split would be decent enough for every company involved. What the fuck did you think was going to happen if you followed them back to their hideout? Maybe that's by design, Buzz. So you have a yeah, he does have a fucking arm. I mean, shit, I could have told you that was gonna happen. Oh, it looks like it'd be a fun ride. But you can kind of almost see from this where Rob Zombie got the idea for the whole Dr. Satan thing when they get dropped down into his lair. It has that kind of feel to it. So I wonder where the fuck did he get holsters for little chainsaws to put on his hip? Because it's not like that's like a conventional kind of thing. I mean, wouldn't you want to turn on the chainsaw before you get running in there all fucking crazy? Damn, did this come out the same year as Friday the 13th Part 6? Really? Did it? This Part 6 came out what, in 86? Let me check. Okay. So yeah, that came out then. Let me check Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. Holy shit, it did come out in 86. I did not know that. Because the way they look is almost like. Granted, this is lower budget, but I would have thought this would have came out maybe a little bit earlier. Does anybody know the background of the grandmother character in this movie? I do not. Never remember hearing them argue. So I'm surprised they didn't do the whole thing where Leatherface had different masks on here too. At least not that I remember him having different masks. I know part one he had a couple different ones. I just oh 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 the skinning. Oh man, play. You gotta take care of it. You gotta get all your stuff back together. I think I got me another face. It's just still amazing to me that Rob Zombie hasn't done a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. Because that seems like it would be right up his alley. Like, what? His Drayton fucking impression is awesome. So you wonder if it would have been enough for Leatherface to really turn against the other Sawyers for her. No, I don't remember that, Buzz. A laundry detergent commercial for which brand? So your ultimate Sonic won't stand up. He's sitting on your desk. Okay. As long as like nothing's broken off of him. Because I know my Pennywise figure like refuses to stand on its own. So I know how that shit feels. He's never made one of these. I'm just surprised he never has, Chuck. Considering the tone that he likes to go for his movies and how ultra violent they lend themselves to being, I could imagine what he could do with this. It seems like a match made in heaven. Yeah, definitely. Look that up for me and send me the link, Buzz. You imagine waking up and seeing yourself, like, seeing the skinned pieces of yourself? No, honestly, Nicholas, I would love to see a Rob Zombie directed Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Because, I mean, it lends itself to everything that he likes to do. Can I see Henry Cavill as Indiana Jones? Yeah, I think Henry's a great actor, and I think he could do it. It's mostly will the because I'm not a super hardcore Indiana Jones fan. I like the movies, but it's not something that I pretty much watch on a daily basis. Like I couldn't remember which one is which. I haven't even watched the last one. Yeah, I remember him saying that time. With the makeup effects, he kind of looks like Frank from Hellraiser. No, I don't think they're father and daughter at all. At least not that I remember hearing any in the movies. Now that statement, Nicholas, I can agree on. I'd never watch anything horror fucking again. If Ubol ever directed a Friday the 13th film, fuck that. I rage quit. I still think that's funny that he goes like boxing critics of his films. Supposedly, Ty, he's got a pitch for a Nightmare on Elm Street. Yeah, I remember you saying that earlier, Robert. That's like crazy. When did that happen? Who's Ubol? You may want to Google that play. I believe he has a documentary that you can watch to really get an idea on who he is. He's a film director, but he's known for some of the worst films ever made. And not like B movie, cheesy, like so bad it's good movies, but I mean terrible movies. Isn't this where he sees like Franklin's body? Nomland. Nomland. Like, what the fuck was that? Like Leatherface isn't even a good liar, just with fucking head nods. Like, did you see it? Did you see it? Did you see it? Hey, Death, how you doing? Trying Dark theme for the first time. How you like it? Is it good to you? I am the Lord of the Harvest. Yeah, this must be Franklin's part. Yeah. It is cool how they did do that, though. It's good on the eye sockets. I agree. Like, I love the Dark theme. Does he actually have a YouTube channel play? It's like, just pick a fucking tunnel and run down it. Oh, no worries, Duck. Hey, Hawkpool, how you doing? It's like he intends to scare her by doing that, but just comes off as like very comical. That kind of sucks. God damn you, Lefty. Any Leatherface theories? None popping up to mind yet. But it's gonna be like one of those things, Death, where once I watch everything and I start trying to connect the dots, then maybe something might percolate a little bit. So you doing good, Hawkpool? I'm doing great. Just doing the commentary on the movie. Oh, nice, Paris. Very nice. Now, I think if they were gonna recast Lefty for another movie, Ty, I would probably, just for the fuck of it, for shits and giggles on it, I would get Bruce Campbell. God's work is being done here, technically. Burn her like a rat. Burn her like a rat. Oh, I think I can guess it, Paris. Did he hit her with like a real foot? I mean, a real, as far as the movie goes. Or was it like a mannequin foot? And if it's a mannequin, how solid was that? Oh, nice, Paris. I'd ask who you got, but I don't want to spoil it just in case it's a surprise. Oh yeah, Jim Carrey could probably do a. He could probably make a really good Norman Bates. I could see him like flipping on a switch with like the split personalities. I mean, that is a risk you run, Death, if you get Jim Carrey for any kind of serious role, especially something like Norman Bates. People are gonna laugh just because he's associated with comedy like that. Holy shit, Play. Although it does seem Drayton is noticeably more crazier on here than he was in the first one. My whole collection is clumsy. I guess this was like their way of trying to semi recreate the Sally scene from the dinner. Ace Ventura versus pre-Uber Jason. Well, you wonder if they'd ever do a movie with Grandpa, like a prequel with Grandpa. Because you would assume, with how they're acting, that Grandpa's probably killed more than a few people. Oh, that's so nasty. Ooh. Mm. I mean, that was a direct hit. Even if it didn't have that much power behind it, that shit would still hurt. Just call it the Grandpa. Shit, I watch it. Chop Top is ridiculous. That'd be a good title too, Buzz. Did both actors that played Grandpa pass away? Like, is that right? Because I thought the one that played him in the original was still alive. Because he was like young as shit in the first film. I mean, that's true. Duh. Like, just because you have a healing factor doesn't exactly mean you can't drown. Because, I mean, you can suffocate Wolverine. Okay, I thought that's what I remember. Because I thought I saw the actor that played Grandpa in the first film recently. Like, he was. Because he was, like, extremely young and they put the old man makeup on him in the first film. Because if I remember right, I think he was in Texas Chainsaw 3D. I don't know if he was there as Grandpa. Likely, though. I think he might have been. And Grandpa's like, fuck this. That's an interesting theory play. Personally, I think Grandpa would have been the first Sawyer to really start the cannibalizing and murders. Possibly even like skinning faces and taught it to Leatherface. Because if you kind of think about it, if you take all of the personalities from Nubbins, Chop Top, Drayton, and Leatherface and combined them all into one, you wonder if that could be what Grandpa was really like. Yeah, Leatherface is definitively dead on that. Chainsaw to the gut. How he's still fighting with fucking chainsaw in his stomach is beyond me. That's funny, duh. Yeah, imagine him with a sign out like, "Mama, we did it." Who should play a younger version of Grandpa? I know I've said it a couple times for different roles, but Bill Moseley. I think Bill Moseley would probably be able to capture all of those aspects. But that's also because I'm a big fan of Bill Moseley. Ooh. Yeah. With both of them, that's definitively Leatherface, Grandpa, and Drayton dead. Definitively. There's no way they got out of that one alive. Especially Leatherface. So then it's like, how the fuck did Leatherface come back in part 3? It strikes me to believe it's not the same Leatherface. Hmm. Oh, shit. Yeah, because there's the grandma scene there. Which I don't think they ever really mention her in the first one or really much of this. Or if she was like possibly maybe a victim or something like that. I don't think we did get Grandpa's full name. You have a good night, Nicholas. Next stream will be tomorrow. It does look like Grandma's head was moving, though. But according to him, like, she had to have been alive because Chop Top just accused her of killing her. Hmm. Ow. You know, although those injuries are bad, I don't know. Could you say that Chop Top was really killed there? Yeah, the Texas Chainsaw timeline is a very confusing one, Death. Don't worry, you're not alone. Like, trust me, it's not that you haven't watched them all. They don't make sense. Jeffrey Dean Morgan, I would take Jeffrey Dean Morgan in anything. I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's no way Grandma could be alive based on how she looked, but as Chop Top said, you killed her. And it looked like her head was moving. And Bruce Campbell could play a younger. I could deal with that too. Ever wonder what what became of Stretch? I do too. I wonder that based on where we go in the sequels because I don't think she's ever mentioned again. And if Chop Top actually was dead, I mean, she cut his stomach multiple times with the chainsaw, and we're assuming that he is dead. But you never know with these movies. You never know. Like now, Drayton and Leatherface and Lefty, you can assume they, especially Leatherface, there's no way Leatherface survived that. He was impaled with a chainsaw, with it still running, and then a grenade exploding underneath of him. The chances of him surviving are likely very, very, very slim. Drayton, there's no way he survived that. Being under the table with the grenade, he would have caught that thing right in the face. Lefty probably would have, at best case scenario, he would have been thrown from the chair, or not chair, the table, maybe suffering some injuries, but chances are likely he's still dead. Maybe Grandpa's actually a victim. I mean, some of the evidence suggests otherwise, but I could see if they came out and said that Grandpa actually was a victim, I would go with it. There's enough evidence pointing the opposite way too. I would go with that. I think with that tie, the only way we're probably going to get a Grandpa prequel is if this sequel does well. And they go a little bit further into the Grandpa character. That's probably the best route. Because you figure the Sawyer's whole point of everything that's going on is based on what happened with Grandpa. So, you never know. But alright, that was Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. It's a fun little movie to watch. What is my thought on Texas Chainsaw 3D? I think with a couple of changes in both dialogue and actually setting the setting of the movie, especially year-wise, because a lot of that doesn't make sense. I think it could have been a much better movie. There's a couple of things I definitely would have changed, but for what it was, I didn't hate it. I didn't hate it as much as I did The Next Generation. But I mean, that's just me. Now, the what was it, Leatherface that they brought out? That movie got me extremely frustrated because you had the perfect young Leatherface on there, and for the sake of having a red herring, you kill him off. And that was utterly fucking... Because we know what Leatherface becomes. Just give us what we're expecting. There's no point in adding mystery because it wasn't based in mystery. It should have just been, this is little Leatherface. Let's see how he grows up. See where he went from the mental institution to the first mask that he makes. Oh, excuse me. And we should have went from there. Instead, let's kind of make it a mystery. Who you think is Leatherface isn't going to be Leatherface. And it was so frustrating, it just took me out of the movie. The subplots took me out of the movie. I see, Devin. I see. But alright, that's going to do it for me for the night, guys. I want to thank all you guys for sticking it out with me, watching Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. I will be back on tomorrow night. I was going to do a poll. I think I just might do a gameplay video. Get some Dead by Daylight in. Gotta finish the Rift. And then we'll continue Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. I'll try to stream Wednesday when I get home from work. Do a script for Ghost Abby invading horror movies. I bet she'd love that. Especially dialogue. Exactly, Buzz. Exactly. That was two of my criticisms of it. And the fact that Drayton and Leatherface was just not very good, in my opinion. But alright, I'll see you guys tomorrow. And as always, I am JG Dark. And thanks for watching.